the screen. I don't see it.
Yeah,
Oh, there we
there
go.
we go. Hi, SOS community. Welcome to our first roundtable of the year for 2025. We are excited to be with you today, and we are here today with Courtney Dodge from Scout. Thank you for joining us today on our first roundtable.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, and Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that 2025 is off to a great start. I know many of us are cold, and so we're dealing with that. But other than that, hopefully the year's been great so far.
Yes, Happy New Year. So what we do on these roundtables, we kind of like to get to know more about your company, what you do, your role, how you started. So I'll go ahead and give it back to you and let you give a little background about how you started. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm with Scout. Scout is actually celebrating our 30th anniversary this year, which is super exciting. The company has been around for 30 fantastic years and just experienced tremendous success and growth. So I'm so proud to be part of this organization. I have been in the industry for not quite that long, close over 20 plus years in the industry on the CRO side, in the biotech space, and on the site side. So have had the opportunity to really pull all of that knowledge together and the skill set together to focus on Scout's true mission and passion to really do what's best for our sites and patients, and really eliminating any potential barrier or burden for that patient to be able to participate in a study and support the site, eliminating the barriers and burdens that our site staff face as well.
That's great to hear. And what are some examples, or if you can go into a little bit more detail, exactly what services, I guess, that Scout provides?
Sure. So Scout is made up of three specific service areas. I mentioned the 30th anniversary is this year. So the company started as a meeting planning organization. So small startup with a family who had a great idea and was approached to start planning investigators meetings. And that was an incredibly successful endeavor. And that just multiplied over the years. And the pharma companies were coming to the team saying, you do such a great job taking care of us at these meetings. Would you help us move our patients around? We need to get patients to specific locations for targeted treatment. And that's really where that entire initiative began. Scout continued to help patients get to where they needed to receive treatment in specific clinical trials, rare disease, oncology, runs the gamut globally, and taking care of all of the details associated with that aspect of the business. And then in addition to that, established a payment system, reimbursements, all of the details that are associated with making sure we're eliminating the burden for the patient so that they just can focus on the treatment. And that has been an incredibly successful arm of the business as well. So we have our meetings, and we have our Scout Clinical, which is the patient reimbursement, travel, and stipend payment. And then we have the area of the business that's our Scout Academy. That's our learning platform. So it's our Academy is our training platform that is incredibly user-friendly, a great opportunity to kind of simplify training and training requirements. So another area of our business that we're really excited about, and we're proud to offer to our sites and clients.
So, I had never heard of Scout until maybe 2 years ago. The only platform or vendor that I was aware of that was fairly common was Greenfire. But now I would say I see your vendor, Scout, it's just as common as Greenfire now. I deal a lot with contracts and budgets, and Scout is very common for patient stipends now, where it just was primarily Greenfire. So that's great. You're making great headway.
We appreciate that. I'm happy to hear that that's being recognized. And you may have heard of Meeting Protocol Worldwide previously, just here and there, but yes, the Scout Clinical, we rebranded about a year ago. So I'm thrilled to hear that you're seeing and we're being recognized for what we're able to bring to sites and patients and supporting sponsors with their studies.
Oh, see, I wasn't aware of that there was a rebranding, and I had dealt with worldwide a little bit, but again, it was nowhere near as common as Greenfire.
Yeah,
But Scout is just as common now, at
great.
least in my experience, anecdotally.
Yes, we
Yeah,
appreciate
I kind of agree with Chris. I think the past couple of years I've heard more of your company, and I see it more with a lot of the sponsor CROs that we worked with at our site as well. So to us, it's fairly new, but that's great. I think it's really important that you have those services for sites, because it is a lot of work, a lot of things that site staff has to do. Anything that can make it easier for them to do their job and work with participants, I think is extremely helpful. So that's good. I'm glad to hear the services that you offer.
Yeah, we agree. We think that really focusing on that patient and ensuring that they have every opportunity to participate in a study, and that financial piece or the travel piece it's not a barrier for them. I think really helps the site with overall retention. And to your point, I think that is what really has helped propel us into many other opportunities, is that sites and sponsors are recognizing the fact that this helps them retain a patient when they're not worried about, am I going to get reimbursed for this and how quickly? And we can reimburse patients directly into their checking account or put it on their PayPal. It's so easy for us to make sure that that patient is not out of pocket for anything. So I do think that has really played a huge part in helping us work hand in hand with the site, so that we're doing everything we can to help them retain that patient. Because oftentimes, as we all know, patients they'll get frustrated and will want to withdraw consent or whatever the case may be. So everything we can do to eliminate that is our mission and our goal.
I love the fact that you guys have different options. Hi, Courtney. Sorry, I joined a little late.
No,
And to echo what Chris and Julia were saying, I now recognize more Scout than it was before. And listening to what you're saying, that the patients have more options, and including the check accounts, the PayPal, and all of that. I mean, we're in an area that everything should be easier and should be faster for the patients, right? Especially when it comes to, with all the technology that is out there nowadays, right? Sometimes I think the banks are running a lot behind than the technology that we have nowadays, and seeing that the clinical research industry is ahead on that is amazing, because that's what is gonna be in no time. We're gonna have a lot more out there in technology, and seeing another company besides Greenfire like upgrading or making this more easier is nice. Is very nice to see the technology.
we agree. Thank you for acknowledging that. We certainly are trying to stay ahead of it and make sure that we're always trying to find better ways to serve the patient. But we agree. We know that our patients, when given the option, that are on studies that we're supporting, they choose that easy payment method. So obviously something that's very appealing is, and we all feel that way, right? I want whatever that is, the funds, the money, the reimbursement, whatever it is, as quickly as possible, so that I'm not inconvenienced as the patient.
So I'm curious, because I haven't actually used Scout. I've just noticed it. Like I said, I work with a lot of budgets and contracts, but I haven't actually used the platform. So, and I'm going to give you a chance to speak on its behalf and directly opposed to your nearest competitor, I assume. Is it more feature rich than Greenfire? Because it sounds like you can offer things like airfare or things of that nature, whereas I don't think Greenfire does that, right?
We can offer pretty much everything that would need to be requested or required to transport a patient anywhere, to reimburse a patient for anything that's approved, and to streamline that process. So our portal allows sites or patients to request travel to request a reimbursement. Any of the details that are required to get that patient wherever they need to go, we have the capability to do it. And the beauty behind all of that is that we have teams all over the world that speak the local language of whatever that patient is, wherever they are, and can meet their needs in that situation. So if we have a patient in Germany who needs to travel to the US for cancer treatment, we will take care of all the logistical details for that. And we can do all of that in our portal, but we actually have team members that speak to that site in German and will speak to the patient in German. We can have someone accompany them to the US, whatever they need. That's really what sets us apart. Is Scout is very much a people first mentality. So whatever we need to do to help that patient feel comfortable about coming halfway across the world for treatment, they're in a new environment, perhaps they've never been in before. We want to make sure that all of those needs are met. So our technology is certainly there to meet the needs for those requests. To your point, to request airfare or ride share, rental car, hotel, whatever that may be. We go so far beyond that by making sure that there are people there to answer the phone for you and to answer your questions.
Well, that's awesome. Now, from the site perspective, do you also handle site payments, invoicing, things of that nature?
We do not. We do not handle site payments or invoicing. Very much focused on the patient at the moment.
Strictly patient focused.
Yes. Yep. We get that a lot. We hear that a lot. So I think that there's probably many sites out there that appreciate the speed in which we are able to process and pay and reimburse and have asked that question as well.
Sure. So the sites would like to see what you offer patients.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Sounds like something new to be developed.
I know, and it's something new and improved. I'll take that back and make sure I mention it.
Probably, I love that Scout is basically patient centricity, and that's nothing more important than that right now.
Right, we agree.
Yeah, well, we're excited. You're going to be one of our sponsors at SOS in a few months in March. We're looking forward to having you there. And I'm sure there's a few people I like to acknowledge who are on the call. Thank you, Danielle, for joining us, Elizabeth, Dr. Monica Nanda, and Joathi Innapudi. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. But I think on the site perspective, and they're probably wondering, since you'll be at SOS in March, what else are you going to be offering to sites, or what are you looking forward to discussing with sites in person, or what? If you can give us a little bit more about what your thoughts are on that.
Sure, I'm glad you asked. So I think that one of the things we've already talked about this a little bit, is there's so many sites that didn't realize that Scout is here. And when the sponsor has provided our service, that we're here at no cost to them, that this is something that's already provided for. So there's nothing that they need to do. Nothing is going to hit their budget. That our service, we take care of all of the stipends, all of the reimbursement, all of the logistics of the travel, all of the care of those specific details. And I was quite stunned to realize there's so many sites that just didn't realize that we just picked it up. We just completely alleviated having to perhaps fund an account that's going to do this, but we take care of all the details and logistics for that. So really at SOS, I look forward to our team being able to communicate that to sites and have those conversations. We also want to hear from sites and site users. We know that no system is perfect. We love to hear the feedback. We love to hear from our users to understand what would make it easier for you. We've taken a few suggestions on the actual site user perspective of the portal, and we've implemented some changes because a savvy coordinator said, if we just had this tick box, that would make this so much easier. I know that this has been done, or whatever the case may be. And we can take that right back to our development team in-house and make those changes. Those are the conversations we're really hoping to have with sites, is to learn, what could we do better? Or what are we great at? We want to interrogate all of the good news and some of the feedback as well. So having those conversations and being able to talk to sites about how our service is available to them, it will be our key focus during that time there.
Courtney, we have a question from the public. It says, do you manage these patient reimbursements or payments directly with the sponsor, or how does that it works?
Yes, so we manage all of the reimbursements. So we manage it with the sponsor to set what the parameters for those are, all of the details for that. So if a patient has a reimbursement, say they're coming for a visit and they have to pay for parking, and we're also reimbursing for meals. So their parking and their meal would be reimbursed. You just go into the portal. The patient can go into the portal if it's patient accessible in that study. You just click on the button, opens the camera on their phone. They can take a picture of that receipt, and it's submitted for reimbursement.
Ooh, I have another question. That's actually me. So let's say that the study doesn't have a Scout as part of the vendors, but the site would like to use your services for all the studies that they have. Can they do that?
Sure. We're actually rolling that out as an organization, a direct access model for our sites, so that we have many sites who have come to us over the years and ask. We use several vendors. We'd like to just use Scout on all of our studies. So we are in the process. We're doing it now. We're rolling that out to sites who would like to use Scout for all of their studies, and not just the ones that the sponsor has contracted with us for. So we can absolutely do that. Please feel free, anyone who is interested in learning more about that, to reach out to myself, and we will meet with you as a team.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So we're quickly approaching the conference itself, the SOS conference. So what do you hope to gain by attending the SOS conference? It's
those conversations with sites. It's understanding, it's the voice. So perhaps we hear more of, we wish you all did site payments. Perhaps it's, we wish you all did this, or it would be great if the portal could do that, or listening to the pain points. We know, I was recently at another conference and I sat by a coordinator who was explaining the hardship of the numerous systems that they're utilizing for the multiple studies that they're helping support. And it was just fantastic to listen to that perspective as a site leader, and how they struggle to manage that, but making sure that they're crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. And it was a fantastic opportunity for she and I to information share and understand what those struggles are and how we can do better at that. We've listened to our sites that wanted us to simplify our training requirements. We took that back to our team internally in our operations group, and we're doing that. We're simplifying the training for our portal so that we can meet the site's needs. And anything we can do to help the coordinators or the site staff streamline what they're doing is value add for all of us, right? So listening to sites and hearing what you're struggling with, and then finding the places where we can make that easier, where we can lessen that burden, is what we hope to learn during SOS.
So it sounds like you appreciate those one-on-one conversations.
Definitely.
Will you have plenty of staff at the conference so that they can roam the audience and reach out and have those conversations?
We definitely will. We are excited to have that time with all of the site staff, all in attendance, and have those conversations. We welcome the opportunity. If anyone would like to proactively set up time with us, we would appreciate that. We look forward to those conversations to learn more.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the beauty of the conference is that you get to talk to the coordinators and also the site owners,
Right.
and the people that makes decisions.
Absolutely.
And you will be there, correct?
I should be there. My team.
No guarantees.
I should be there, yes. Working out some logistics, but I should be there. Yes. There will be Scout representation there no matter what, but I should be there.
Okay.
And how would an individual who wants to have a conversation with you or representative, how would they distinguish those Scout members, right? Would it be only at the booth where you'll be located, or if you're out in the audience, will they be wearing a name tag or something of the like?
Yes, you will definitely be able to tell who we are. We'll have some identifying information, but yes, there'll be someone at our booth. Anyone who is interested in having a conversation, I would encourage you to reach out perhaps ahead of time, and we'll just arrange for some time to grab coffee and talk or sit down and have a conversation. I look forward to those.
Okay, great.
We have another question from the audience. So does a Scout, it says, usually sites are extremely busy, so it's important to have direct and immediate access to someone to help with the issues. Does a Scout have a team designated for immediate assistance to sites?
Yes, we do, 24/7. Globally, we have coverage. Our incredible patient liaison team is always there to help support our sites. It's so important to the owners of our organization to focus on that service and support piece, because there's nothing more frustrating than needing to resolve a problem or an issue or having a question and you cannot get anyone on the phone. And
I love that it's 24/7.
Yes, it is. And we're global, so we have to make sure that, our sites in the UK and the sites in Argentina, as well as the sites in the US, all have access to someone that can help address their questions.
Well, I love that you mentioned sites on overseas, because we have been receiving a lot of reach out from sites overseas asking about organizations and about the SOS conference. So we're gonna see these sites too.
That's fantastic. That's exciting. That I love the global reach now. I feel like as an industry, we're really kind of closing the gap and making sure we're reaching everyone globally, because the majority of us are all having the same struggles, right? So no matter where you're located. So I'm excited for you all that's a larger global impact.
Yes.
I do have a few other questions. I think that somebody had asked, does Scout send out monthly newsletters to the sites?
We are going to start monthly newsletters this month, this year. That's something new that we will do to ensure that our current site users, anyone who's currently part of a Scout study, you will be on the distribution for those newsletters. So we will be able to communicate directly with you and tell you about exciting things going on or improvements to perhaps a process or our technology.
Courtney, if somebody wants to reach out to you or anybody on the team, what's the best way to reach out?
Sure, you can email me. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. There's an info button on our website that you can request information. That's probably the easiest for everyone to remember, is just going to our website. There's a site tab, and you'll be able to just click the button and we will get in contact with you.
Oh, that's awesome. We see also Caitlin Baker saying,
Yes.
if you are attending to SOS and would like to meet at Scout, please reach out. I will be in attendance.
Yes.
We can't wait to meet you.
Fantastic.
And let's see, I think there was another, just for those who are attending or who had to jump off, it is being recorded. This will be shared on LinkedIn. So whoever needs to watch this later, if you had other people that weren't able to attend, you can rewatch it later. So I know that was a question. Okay. I think that was all the questions. I don't think, did we miss anything else from the audience? I'm double checking. Sorry, the comments. But yeah, so I think we're getting closer to the end of our time, and we're excited to have you. Thank you for jumping on the call and having being the first one of the year, the roundtable. Is there anything else before we jump off the call that you would like to share with the audience? Anything else that you didn't get to mention about Scout or SOS?
I Nothing necessarily I didn't get to mention, but I did want to thank you all so much for the opportunity. I've really enjoyed being here and talking with you all. I also will mention that Scouts growing. We're a fantastic organization, and I love the partnerships that we've been able to develop over the past year or so. I appreciate the relationship with you all. Excited about attending the conference, and look forward to many more opportunities to collaborate.
Thank you so much, Courtney. And I would like to mention also, or say thank you for supporting us from the very first conference,
Yes.
and continue that relationship with us. We love Scout, and we love having this relationship with an organization that is thinking ahead
Thank
with
you.
the technology and is supporting so much the sites.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your support as well.
Thank
Well,
you.
we appreciate having you on, Courtney. And I, for one, I look forward to meeting your team at SOS. Hopefully you can make it. If
I
not,
hope so as well.
Yes.
perfectly understandable, but you got to be there.
I'm certainly going to try.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you for
Great.
being here.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, and before we
Okay.
jump off, I just want to remind everybody who's going to listen or watching in, SOS in Oklahoma City, March 13th through the 15th of this year. And so in a few months, it looks like, I think we're 9 weeks away, right? So if you haven't signed up, please go to our website, saveoursites.com, register, book your hotel at the Omni Hotel.
Thank you very much. Very important.
And also you can
Wait,
reach
which
out to Scout to schedule a one-on-one with them.
Yes. Yes, please
Yep.
do. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Well, thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. How do I stop the live? I don't know how to stop it. Do I end stream?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Okay.
Oh, okay.